Hi, Shane.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing?
good. How about you?
Yeah, yeah, good, good.
Just to
Oh,
wait for a few minutes for others to
okay,
join.
okay.
Let me ping folks on Slack.
Uh, by the way, for us to apply for Sandbox, there are multiple meeting or just this one?
Hold on, let me send a Slack message first.
Okay.
So this is basically for the tag storage to understand more about your projects, and we can provide some feedback to the TOC. But TOC will be the one who is doing the voting. I believe you have already submitted a request. I see that there's an issue submitted there.
We
Right.
get some of
So,
the feedbacks. We need to reorganize another meeting to present again with some of the enhanced presentation or just this one.
okay. So did they have already gone through the voting for you? Did
No,
they get any? Not yet. Okay.
not yet. Yeah.
Okay. I think then it's probably just waiting for the voting. So let me check and
Okay.
let's see. Okay. Yeah, we can look at this one before you start presenting. Just wait for. So I'm looking at this. Right. So you probably have already seen this, right? So you have been added to this sandbox application board, your project. Have you seen this?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I think it's basically it's going through the process, right? So there are multiple sandbox projects. And then there is a meetings. So if you look at this is the public TOC meeting.
Yeah.
Last time this was this was actually yesterday, right? Yesterday there was the TOC meeting. They went through the sandbox review. So there should be normally there should be a email sending out. I don't remember seeing it one. Maybe it's coming out. We can see what are the results of that. So I think they do this periodically for the sandbox project. Right. So this is a closed meeting, but they should be sending out an email about the results. So I'm not sure if they get you a chance to review your meeting yet, but we can definitely ask them. If we don't see an email, we can ask them next time in our, we do have an update, like a tag update for the TOC. So we can ask about the status. But I'm looking at this one. So here it's in this new category. I don't see any comments for this one. Let's see if there's any. Yeah, I think I see that it actually I do see something from Emily that she moved this she added the label. She added a storage label for this part for this issue. let's see. Okay, this is last week. Okay, yeah. So we can definitely check with them and see what is the status for this. Okay, so now we are 7 minutes past. I think we can start the presentation. Let's see. Okay, I don't see Alex yet. I'm not sure. I thought he will be joining, but anyway, we can get started. Okay, do you have something to present? Let me stop sharing.
Sure. I have the slides. I can share my screen.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Shi. Thanks everyone to having me at today's meeting. And yeah, it's clear.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
We can see it.
Okay, my voice is clear.
I'm sorry, what is your question?
I mean, my voice is clear.
Yes,
can
yeah,
hear me?
your voice is clear.
Okay.
We can hear you
Okay.
and we can see the slide. Yes.
Okay, thanks. Today, I would like to introduce our open source project, Farm Store, which is a cloud native local storage. And okay, this is today's agenda. Firstly, I will introduce a little about this project, Farm Store, and update. I will introduce the Farm Store's architecture a little bit, and update. I will talk about some of the key features of the Farm Store, like the volume conversion, volume migration, and volume group, and so on. And later, I will talk about the customer use cases. And at the end of the this presentation, we have the Q&A session. By the way, anyone has any questions at any time, you can stop me to ask. Okay. So before I talk about the Farm Store, let me introduce myself a little bit. My name is Liang Sun. I graduated from the Beijing University and postgraduate in telecommunications with a PhD degree. After it, I have worked in EMC China and the US as a software engineer for 10 years. And after it, I joined the Pure Storage, the US as a software engineer for 3 years and worked for 3 years. And then I back to China and joined the AWS as a solution architect and worked it for half a year. And now have already been working in the Dow Cloud as a storage specialist for more than 3 years. Let's look at about the history of the Huamei Store project. At the 2020 July, I have created this project as an internal one, named as the dLocal. And half years later, we have the first release rolling out. And another half year, we have the first customer in China and delivers the dLocal as part of the hyper-converged infrastructure system. And the customer use it majorly for the some of the like the application like the Kafka Elasticsearch. And at the beginning of the last year, we decided to make this project public, officially public at GitHub, and rename it as the Huamei Store. And update, and we have the tons of the release, Huamei Store releases rolling out and available for our customer and the community. And the February of this year, we created another sub-project, which is the Huamei Store operator, which is for the installation and configuration of the home install. And till now, the latest release of the home install and operator is 2.9.3, and we already have the tens of the customers, mostly in China and from different industry like the banks, retailers, and medias, and some high-tech companies. And at the bottom, this is there are some project information like the introduction, which is a video we make it to introduce this project, and also we have the public repository for the Huawei store and operator, and we also have the official documentation document at this website. And now let's look at the architecture of the Huawei store. Let's look at it firstly from the bottom. At the bottom, we have the module called Local Disk Manager. And this module is to manage the disks, including discover the available disks, and will detect the disk whether it's in use or not. And also it can provision the disk volume through the CSI. And also it will allocate the disk to the up layer application by using the local disk claim, which is the CRD defined by the Huawei store. And also this module will regularly check the disk health. And later we will do some of the disk failure detect or disk failure prediction. And on the at the right side, you can see this local disk manager can provision the disk volume directly to some of the up-layer application like the main IO, like the CEF, uses the entire disk as a volume. And at the left side, we can see on the top of the LDM, we have another module called local storage. This is a type of the local storage, which is for the volume which is using the LVM, the one of the library in the Linux kernel. And for the LVM volume, it can be provisioned through the CSI, and it can provide the multiple type of the volumes, and also it can support the volume conversion, migration, expansion. Also, it provided the volume group for these features. I will introduce it later. And besides these two major modules, we have another module to provide some of the features. We have the scheduler, the machine controller, vector, API server, and exporter. Exporter is for the metrics, and we also have the graph user interface. So for the Huawei store installation, we suggest you using our Huawei store operator. It can deploy the all-in-one deployment Huawei store, and the minimal size of system can start from only one node, and you can expand it by adding more and more node gradually. And also you can customize all the modules, like you can enable or disable the HA module. For the HA module, we are using the third-party tools. For example, one of the module we are using is the DRBD, and also you can use you can allocate the disk to different module like the LDM or LS, and so on. And after the deployment, the operator can detect automatically detect the disk type like the HDD, SSD, and NVMe, and also it can detect whether the HA module is enabled or disabled. And based on this information, the operator can automatically configure and initialize the Huawei store system including configure the storage pool per node. It will generate the storage class, which is for the different volume types. As a middle top screenshot, you can see this is all of the file store modules. And at the right side, this is one of the local disk node. There is the storage pool for the local disk node, and it can be used to provision the disk volume to the application. And for the left side of it, it's the local storage node, which is for the LVM volume. And it also has a storage pool. And by this pool, the file store can provision the LVM volume to the application. And for the left side screenshot, this is a local disks. And for the disks, you can see all of the disks on the node will be shown here, and it will show you which application is using which node and what's the status of the node, is bound or available or reserved. And also it has the health information about the disks. At the bottom of it, it's the storage class. The operator will generate it and according to the file store deployment. And you can see there are multiple storage classes generated here. I will talk a little about it later in the next slide. And for the storage classes, the file store can provide the multiple types of the volumes. The first one is the inconvertible non-HA volumes. That's only has only one replica, which is the best choice for some of the application like Elasticsearch and Kafka and so on. And the next one is the HA module, HA volumes, which has two replicas located at a different node. It can protect the data across the node, and which is the best choice for some application like the image registry, MySQL, and the Postgres, and like that. And for the two replicas, the data will be synchronized by the HA module in real time. For example, we use the DRPD to synchronize the replica. And the third one is a convertible non-HA volume, which means this volume is one replica, but it can be converted to HA volume later. Yeah. And the last one is the disk volume. The disk volume is file store provision the entire disk as a volume, and which is the best for the CF, MIO, such kind of the application. So currently we are working on enhancement. We want to consolidate the inconvertible and convertible non-HA volume as the non-HA volume. And now I can show one of the examples. Okay.
Rafael, do you have a question? I see you had a hand up earlier.
I had a question, but I think that I found the answer on the slide. I wanted to ask what protocol was used to replicate the data between two replicas in the HA option, but I think it's the, like the slide said, there is a DRDD protocol there. So the operator, I guess, manages setting all that up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Okay. We currently we in architecture we design the HA module, and in theory we want to the file store can leverage the any kind of the HA module, but currently we only support the DRPD, and later if we find another better one, we can also add into this choice, this option of the HA module. Yeah, currently it's the DRBD. Yeah.
Okay, and obviously the replica has to be in the cluster, right? You don't replicate across clusters.
Yeah.
Kubernetes clusters. Okay, understood. Thank you.
This is one of the examples to deploy the application of the MySQL. And in this example, I use a single instance of MySQL and the HA module. And you can see we deployed the HA and the HA volume and the MySQL. And now here I want to show what's the volume details in the Huami store. At the bottom screenshot, you can see we have the local volume, and the local volume will have some of the information like which storage pool this volume is provisioned, and how many replicas, and the capacity and the state, and also the publishes means for which node this volume is mounted, and also if this volume is not mounted, the publish publish section is empty. Yeah, and also the person type, and at the bottom of it is the local volume replica. It will show the replica of the volume. So now we can say this volume have two replica and located at a different node, and the Kubernetes node 1, Kubernetes node 2, and also it has the real device path on this node. Yeah, and also will show you state and is synced or not. Yeah. And but how the MySQL access the volume? Actually, the Huami store system are only working on the management part. It will not interrupt into the data path. So the port will access the volume on the node directly. So it will not access through the Huami store. So that means the Huami store will not add any failure possibility for the data access. Yeah. Another word that Huami store is very lightweight, and on each node, each Huami store node, it will require only very small resources like the CPU memory, and to run. Yeah. And also, if the Huami store runs into any problems, it will not impact the running application to access the data. Yeah. And also for the LVM volumes, it also supports the online expansion. It supports the CSI online size interface. I think this is familiar for everyone. Yeah. And for the volume convert, this is working for the non-HA volume. In some case, some customer may at the beginning have only one node and has no enough storage node, so they just created one volume replica. But later they will raise the data protection level, so they need to convert the volume from the non-HA to HA to protect the data across a node. And for this conversion, is only unidirectional. It can only be converted from one replica to two replicas. You cannot do it reverse. Yeah. So currently, it only works for the convertible non-HA volumes, but later we will remove this limitation. Yeah.
A question here.
Yeah.
When you say use convert, do you use a different storage class to control that, or because normally you can just by scaling up, right? Why is this special? You have to have a special convert command to do this?
Yes, this is because the HM module we're currently using for the DRPD. Yeah. But later we will try to find a way to remove this limitation. There's no involved in convertible or convertible. It's just the non-HM volume. Yeah.
I have a question too, and maybe you have it later in the slides, but I'm curious. So let's say you have two replicas, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming the application still connects to only one, and then the data is replicated to the other ones, right? So
Yeah.
monodirectional replication.
Yeah.
So what happens if you lose the replica, the active replica? What happens if that node breaks?
In that way, because the two replicas are synchronized in time, and if the acting replica runs into problem, that and the port can be rescheduled to the backup one, and because the backup one has the valid data, so that the port can access it, and then I update, we need to fix the problem of the previous
Right.
one. Yeah.
No, but okay, I get it. But so is it fair to say that you don't have to do anything? Kubernetes will recover everything, automatically from that situation, and just reschedules the pod to where the replica, the passive replica is, and make it active.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, but that's not always true because for the Kubernetes, it must know there is a problem in the acting replica. But however, there is no way to notify the Kubernetes there is a problem in the acting uh, replica.
Mm.
Yeah,
So,
so that in that
so
way, we have to do it manually. Yeah.
I see. So if you lose the disk, you have to do it manually. If you lose the node, Kubernetes can do it by itself.
Yeah, I will introduce another feature later and to solve this problem. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So let me continue. And at the right side, right top screenshot, we defined the CRD called local volume convert. So it uses a convert command, and when submitted, and you can see the volume can be converted from one replica to two replica, and a new replica will be located at a different node. Okay. And now I can talk about another important feature of the file store. It's like the volume migrate. This is only work for the LVM volume. So in some case, the node runs into problem, or the node need to maintain, we need to maintain mod, and so that on this node, all the application port or data volume need to be moved to another node. And another case is that sometimes the data distribution is not balanced across the storage node. In that way, if we want to balance, we need to do the volume migrate. And another case is that if the port need to be rescheduled to another node, and the volume need to be migrated by following the port to another node. And another case is that if we want to create a very big volume, but there is no enough space in the node, so that we need to migrate some node to release some space for this chain of volume. So for this volume, volume migration, we have to do it, migrate the replicas one by one, and you can specify the target node or not specify. If you specify, the system will select the best one from the specified nodes. And if not specified, the system will select the best one from the entire format store storage node. And another tips is that the in-use replica can only be migrated once the pod stops. So so you can see at the right top, this is a screenshot, and we define the local volume migrate CRD. This is the command for the volume migrate. You can specify which volume you need to migrate and from which node, because the node is the replica. Yeah, and you can suggest the multiple target nodes here, and yeah, after you submit this command, and you can say the replica will be migrated from the node 16 to node 62.
A question.
If-
So you're saying that migrate replica one by one. Is this automatic?
Yes. If you submit the migrate for multiple replicas, the system will do it one by one, because we don't want to have the burst data sync traffic, network traffic, which may impact the application. So that we do it one by one. Yeah.
Okay.
And by using this feature, we have another feature like the volume injection. This case is that if we maintain a node or node runs into problem, we have to drain this node. Currently, when you drain this node, the pod will be evicted automatically. But however, the data volume will not be evicted. So that we have this feature that when the administrator submit a command control drain node, and the system will automatically capture this event and trigger the migration for the volume replicas on this node one by one. You can say here, if the node was into problem, and this replicas on this node will be migrated automatically. And at the right top screenshot, can say this is for the port, and you can say there's no user action, and the port will be evicted from the problem node, and will automatically start from the new node. And for the replica, at the bottom screenshot, and for the replica, you can say the new replica on the new node will be created firstly, and after it be ready, and the old one will be deleted, and then the volume replica will be migrated to a new node. So with the migration and the eviction feature, and we can solve the problem that the application will continue to work, and by automatically fail over to the health node and to continue to run. Yeah. And also the data will follow the application to the new node. And so this volume migration eviction works for all type of the LVM volume, non-HA or HA. Yeah. And we Huawei Store have another feature of the volume group. In some cases, the port requires more than one volumes. for example, the MySQL need two volumes, one is for bin log, another for the data. Yeah, in that way, the volumes replica must have the same node distribution. Just like the issue the figure in the right side, that for the node 2 or node 3, if there is no enough replica on the node 3, the pod cannot start from it. Same as the node 2. So with consideration of the volume conversion, volume migration, that means, for example, for the conversion, when we convert the volume from one replica to a two replica, and the new replica will be added at a new node. At the same time, the other volumes in the same group must be converted as well, and the new replica must be allocated at the same new node, so that the port at the same new node can successfully work with the enough volume replica. Same as the migration, and all of the volumes replicas must at the same node must be migrated to a same target node. That's why we introduce the volume group feature in the farming store.
Question, do you have a use case where application use multiple pods and the volumes used by multiple pods will need to be in the same volume group? Looks like this group is only for one single pod.
That's good questions. I know in some case, for some of the like the consistency
group.
Yeah, this consistent group. Yeah, there's a little different from our volume group from the consistent group. Yeah, but we firstly have this volume group, and later we will consider how to implement the consistent group later. But it's a very hard feature for us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have another feature called auto schedule, and in some case, when a user submits the port, and it have to specify which scheduler it will use. But in some cases, it's not possible for user to know it. So Farming Store have this feature to add the admission controller and the scheduler. And for the admission controller, we'll use submit the port to an API server. API server will send it to the admission controller. Admission controller will check if this port has the Farming Store volume or not. If not have the Farming Store volume, it will send to the Kubernetes original scheduler. If yes, it will send to the Farming Store scheduler. Yeah, so that it is transparent to the customer, and the user don't need to know any information of the detail. Yeah.
Do you support? And also, sorry, just previous one. Do you support the wait for first consumer?
Yes. All of the storage class is wait for first consumer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. But why we have this feature? Because we have the volume migration, volume conversion, and also have the HA volumes. That means after, for example, for the volume migration, after the replica migrate to another node, and when the node going to, when the pod going is rescheduled, and the original Kubernetes scheduler cannot find the correct node which has the correct replica. That's why we provided the file store scheduler to help the pod to find the correct node.
Sure. Thanks.
And also we also provide some of the metrics dashboard and the graph user interface, and the left dark screen, and it's for the disk smart metrics, because our local disk manager module will check the disk health for the smart metrics, and will expose it to the promises. And then this is the dashboard from the Kibana, yeah. And for the right side is the farm store system metrics. It will have some information, the detailed information about the farm store system, like the nodes, storage pool, volumes, and some the volumes operations like the conversion, migration, yeah. And at the middle one is the user interface. Yeah, you can see the detail of the farm store system, and you can also operate through it to control the system. Yeah, yeah, we are still working on it to make it better and better, and also will integrate this, any new feature or enhancement with it. Yeah, we'll keep it up, keep it. Yeah. And now I want to share some of the Farmster customers. Here I will not talk about the name of customer, but you can see we have some customer in the bank, in the retailer, and in the high tech, and some of the media customer. And most of the workload working on top of the Farmster is for the Elasticsearch database and registry functions, yeah, something like that. And some customer deploy the Farmster in their production environment, and some customer are currently in the testing environment to test the Farmster. Yeah.
A question.
Yeah.
This is a personal use case that I had with my customer, with a customer of mine. They wanted to use LVM, right? Like you're doing with this operator, but they also wanted to encrypt the volumes. Is there a way to do that? And do you support it?
You mean to provision the volume for the virtual machine, right?
No, the persistent volumes that were provisioned via LVM, right? Like this operator does, but they wanted those volumes to be encrypted, and they didn't want the application to have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, you mean the data encryption?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The entire volume with something like Lux or some technology.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Yeah. Currently, Farmster will not encrypt the volume data. Yeah. But later, if this is if the customer require it, and we can add it in our roadmap to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm share with everyone also Farmster roadmap. And currently we still have some of the feature in progress. And the first one is for the iOS routing and we want to control the LPS for to access the volume, and also isolate the IO from another application. Yeah. And also we are working on the volume snapshot. Yeah, volume snapshot is a little difficult for us because we need to consider the volume migration, conversion, such kind of the feature. If we migrate the volume, and the snapshot of this volume need to be migrated as well. So we are still working on it. Yeah. And for the volume backup, and we are still working on it, and so that the volume data can be backed up to the remote server like the S3 or NFS, something like that, and I can restore from it in some of the discovery happen. Yeah, disaster discovery happen. Disaster happen. Yeah. And also we are working on the theme provisioning. Yeah, we are still thinking about it, whether this is an important feature or not. Yeah, but we saw this another project have this feature, so we think maybe we need to implement it. Yeah. And also auto resizing the volume, and also we have another features in plan. First one is like the system consistency check, which is like the file system check. Yeah, when the system boot up, and the file system will do the consistent check firstly to make sure the file system is inconsistent and available in health. Yeah, we will do it. Yeah, as well. And also we are consider the multi-cluster, because the Farm Store currently is deployed in one Kubernetes cluster, and we are still thinking about how to support the multiple Kubernetes cluster, and we still need to some of the use cases for it to support this feature. Yeah. And we are planning to do the disk failure prediction, because we want to predict the disk failure earlier, so that we can notify the administrator he has enough time to process it, and also like can do the disk replacement, which is very happen frequently in the real storage system. Yeah. Yeah, that's also the feature we are in our plan. Yeah. And also the performance optimization, which currently we think, especially for the HDD disks, the performance enhancement maybe it's necessary for it to, for example, use the SSD to speed up the access. For the HDD volume. And also we welcome any suggestions or contribution from the community for this project. We hope we can have a more and more contributor from community to make this Farm Store project better and better, and then more and more customers can benefit from it. Okay, that's all for Farm Store today.
Hey, thank you. Great presentation. I have a question. You Sally mentioned that you have a disk health monitor, which is your metric dashboard, right?
Yeah.
Do you actually do anything with those automatically? Are there any automatic correction if something happened, or is this more like manual? Admin see this and then do some manual correction?
That's good question. Currently, we just collect the smart Microsoft disks and expose it. And the next step, we want to use this metrics to analyze the disk failure event, detect a failure event, or predict the disk failure event, and then maybe we can, because this is a still open design for us, and we still need to think about how to process this problem later. For example, maybe after we detect the event, we can send out some of the notification, and also for some of the for some case, maybe we can automatically fix it, and also something like that. But we are currently still open for any idea how to make it. Yeah.
Sure, thanks.
So any questions?
So the project, what is the status of the project? Is this still very new? Looks like I look at your GitHub, looks like it's about a year old.
Yeah.
The GitHub.
From the history of this project, we started from 2020 July, and at that time the name was T-Local, and later at the beginning of the last year we rename it as a Huami store and make it public at GitHub. So till now, this project has already 3 years.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
but be public only 1.5 years.
Do you have contributors from other companies in addition to?
Yeah, I got it. Currently, the developer are most from our team, and but we have a lot of the customers or someone from the community to provide a feedback for us, and through the issue, and they ask for some of the feature or some of the enhancement, and but we are very open. We welcome more and more contributor from the community to do it. And currently we are still working with another teams in another company, and to work on this project to make it better.
Thanks. So I think there are a few similar projects, right, as shown in your that issue that you submitted to CNCF. I think it might be good if you can come up with a comparison matrix.
Okay.
Yeah, compare what are the differences that will be.
Yeah.
Are good.
Got it. Yeah. As you said, currently there are some of the other open local storage project, and we compare the Huami store with them. And I think some of the key difference is for some of features like the HA volume and the volume conversion and the migration and the volume eviction, something like that. Yeah. For some other similar projects, they don't. Yeah, that's all key features, I think. Yeah.
Sure, it'd be nice that if you actually put them in a matrix,
Sure.
that'll be easier for people to look at it and understand differences. Yeah.
Sure, I will add it.
Thanks. Are there questions?
I was just wondering if I could get your email address to follow up on some of the LBM2 Could you provide that?
Okay, sure, I will.
Thank you. Maybe just chat it would be perfect. Thank you.
Okay, I will send it at the chat channel.
Either way, get it to
Okay.
get it to one of us. We can send it out or put it in the notes.
Or yeah, maybe just put that in the agenda notes so everyone can see it. And also this presentation, can you share it? Is this I'm not sure, is this a PowerPoint or?
I can share. I can share.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She, I will send. I can send this email to you, and you can share to the community.
But that's fine too. Yeah, either way.
Okay, sure.
And Tom, you have a question?
I was just wondering to try to clarify your differentiation between other projects that are using LVM2. It sounds like you want to focus on leveraging an generic high availability engine, unlike, maybe there was the Parias one that uses DRBD or Linbit's capabilities. What's your vision for this project's uniqueness from other LVM2 or DRBD solutions that are out there getting developed?
Yes, actually, yeah, we currently we are leveraging the LVM2, which is a Linux module, and which is very normal for the OS to have it. So we use it, and I know a lot of the other open source projects are using it as well. And for the DRBD, which is I think we have done a lot of the research on it, and we are looking for some of the HA module, I call HA module, and I know among it, I think the DRBD, because it working in the kernel, and it will have the less overhead when it synchronizes the data class or not. And so that's why we select it and use as our HA module. I think this is but one of the consideration we have that it's a little hard for us to dig into the detail of the DRBD. If it run into any problems, it's still a little bit hard to debug it. Yeah, but DRBD is a very good. I think it is a very good tool. Yeah, to synchronize the data class now. Yeah. I know there's another project using the DRBD as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're at the top of the hour. Elias, thank you so much for the presentation, today. And yeah, please provide your email address and the slides, and I can share with everybody else.
Okay, sure. Okay, thanks everyone to listen to my introduction about the Promise Store. I hope more and more people from the community can look at this project and can contribute to this project and make this project better. And we also want to contribute to this project to a CNCF and to I think most of the developer or customer can benefit it and can make it better. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.